Hey, what's going on, guys? William Barry here, coming at you live from the power of the internet. And for those of you that don't know, I was just in the middle of working on a song that I plan on releasing. I went through and hummed out an entire melody, and now I'm going to write lyrics for that song and see if I can put that into the ether and see if I can make something dope. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is Adam B dropped us a little love in Buy Me a Coffee and suggested, and requested us to listen to a track. This is their comment. Like other ASE freaks, ES freaks. Wow, why did I? Dyslexia, bro. Anyway, I found you reacting to him and being a lot more open than some. Hell yeah, bro. Just let it out. Who cares? You're a weird. People are weird. As people come to understand AI more and more, the weirdness is what's going to be what people care about, I imagine. Be more open than bigger channels. Hell, you know why, dude? Because they're less open. That's why they're bigger. They're less unhinged. All right. So he said, "I'm in." To continue the journey, I'm gonna request my all-time fave of mine, Supercell. Fuck yeah. From the same album as Get Out the Car, which I guess is the album Impossible Kid. This one needs no background, but it is dense. So just to give you a leg up from its amazing two-word opening bar, it's an ode to the misery of going home to the holidays. Hope you enjoy. More to come. Take care of yourself. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. I went and looked. This is the only video I could find that was from Aesop himself, so this is the one we're gonna do. Let me turn off my cringy humming and stuff, and let's get into this. All right, guys. Let's do this, dude. And for those that would like to support this channel, you can always do so by just putting a request in the comments below. I typically will eventually get to them. It just takes a very long time. Or if you really want to get your request done way quicker, feel free to go ahead and go to buymeacoffee.com/losttogod. There is no minimum request. We do ask that you do one request at a time. However, just put out what you want and eventually I will get to it, my guy. I went from making $200 a month on YouTube to $14 a month on YouTube. So anything on Buy Me a Coffee tends to help out a lot. But I don't ask anyone and I don't beg anyone. And if you are going to give, please do so only from a position of comfort. All right, guys, let's get into it. Supercell. This is from the same album as Get Out the Car, which is another song I reacted to already. That song was awesome. One of my favorite things about this guy so far is that he does a very minimal beat production, but then he has this like very layered story with like very dense vocal delivery, vocal cadence. And then on top of that, he has a dense vocabulary that requires you to like stop, listen, re-listen. And then after you're done, like I've finished reactions and I'm like, how the fuck was that a bar? And then I go look it up and then I have to, oh, that was like a really smart bar. Like as a moron, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm getting smarter listening to his music. Let's get into this. You always gotta love a track that has that slow build up, bro, because you never know what direction they're gonna go with it. There are some people that are music theory nerds that I think they can always tell, but I don't know, man. Every time I think I figure out a track, especially from like a talented writer, it kicks me on my ass.
Die already, none defied a one-man walled city. Stone made flesh veins etched in his hands. 88 stand straight, then invasive plants and rain dance unsafely. Brace for the supercell, mutineer footage for your blooper reel. Who could tell? Pours hot tar from the
Jesus Christ, man. And he has this subtitle. Fuck you, Aesop, man. Turn that shit back on, bro. I can't. The way he... Fuck, dude. All right. I have to like pay attention. I smoked way too much weed before starting this. I apologize.
88 stand straight, then invasive plants and rain dance unsafely. Brace for the supercell, mutineer footage for your blooper reel. Who could tell? Pours hot tar from the
That's actually a wild thought, though. Like, you know how they say, like, when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. I wonder that maybe that's true, but like, what if when you died, all it was the blooper reel of the highlights of your life? Because so many of us, we spend so much of our life lifting up the moments where we did greatness. You know what I mean? Like our accomplishments, our 15 seconds of fame. Like one time I got a call out from Ren and I was like, yo, bro, this is my big chance. I made it. You know what I mean? I'm going to be a big YouTuber. And then I gained like 20 subscribers. You know what I mean? But like when it happens, you feel like you're on top of the world. And then when you look back through your life, when you're trying to like piece together how like it was worthwhile, those are the moments that you cling to. But what if when we die, the thing that we see are like the blooper reels of that, like the things that we would consider cutting out of the script? What? Because like technically that's what life really is. Your life isn't going to compile down to a handful of seconds where you were super successful or won the game or got the girl, or it's going to be the quiet moments in between that really define those moments. They're the things that make those moments mythical and why you lifted them up. I feel like that would be the most beautiful way to leave. I don't know. Maybe I'm just waxing like pseudo intellectually here. I'm not a smart guy. Don't answer.
Real, who can tell? Pours hot tar from the top of the barn. Necktie on his head, condor on his arm. Dog star in a jar, bordering unsustainable. Mea culpa, maybe I should pray a cope. Systematic Catholic or sigil in a Baphomet unraveling. Either way, his ID show a snake and skull. Always been a private dude who couldn't keep a tally of which lies he told. Who? Dye hair, shave, chain.
So what I got from that, from my limited intelligence, is he's suffering under a pretty extreme capitalist system and a world that demands like everyone's what's the word I'm looking for? Like everyone's attention and be part of like this hive mind symbiotic relationship that we all have with like social media and entertainers and the cultural zeitgeist. And then he's kind of like doing a refutation of that, saying that he's been a private guy most of his life and he'd rather not blend in with the noise. He'd rather essentially die than digitize. I like that. I think that's good. That's cool. And as someone who's always an outlier in most circumstances, like I'm going to give you a brief story. It'll be brief. I'll make it quick. I remember I did an interview recently last year for Worldwide Equipment. And for those that don't know, most of my experience has either been a truck driver, a mechanic, or a manager of a mechanic facility, like a shop owner or a general manager type character. That's usually like the thing that I do. But I've always done it by coming, like I'll go to any job. So when I went to Worldwide, I applied to be a driver. And then I talked to the dude and he was like, hey, well, we have an opening in our service department to be a service writer. And he was like, how much do you want to get paid? I was like, whatever, dude. Whatever you guys offer, the minimum amount. And he's like, don't ever say that. I'm like, I don't care. My goal is to get into the building, show you how good I can do my job, and then like show you what I'm worth. And if you're an honest and fair boss, you will pay me a just salary later. Like I will earn my raises through hard work if I have to. And then apparently that's lost on people. And I always get the advice not to do that shit. I don't care. I'm not here to negotiate the maximum amount of money with you. I'm here to do a fucking job. And if I do a good job, I want you to fight to pay me what you think is a justifiable raise. I shouldn't have to do a negotiation with you and fight for every dollar, because that's how you get people that are just good at talking and not doing. I don't know. That seems like a broken system to me. Anyway, sorry.
His ID show a snake and skull. Always been a private dude who couldn't keep a tally of which lies he told. Who? Dye his hair, shave, change names in his lazy drawl. Soon enough I will estrange you all like a ghost.
I like that effect, dude.
On Dasher, half-dead carolers, wreck a whole advent calendar. Brother on speakerphone, lurking at the Burgerville, bathrobe, hammer toe.
Damn, bro, he used... Wait, what was it? He had a word in there that I really love, but I'm so high I lost it by the time I got...
Deck a whole advent calendar. Brother,
Advent, bro. Fuck. That's such a cool word, dude. It's, bro. There's a guy, I don't know, like, I am musically all over the place. Like, I make my own music too. While I like to be careful with that word. I don't make my own music. I make my own musical essays. I use AI to make the musical part, and then I just try and tell stories and use the music. Anyway, look, I'm an AI guy. I apologize. I know a lot of people fucking hate that shit, and I understand why. And I'm doing videos on the very topic. Matter of fact, I just posted a post about it, about the dangers of AI. So don't think that I'm not listening. Anyway, fuck, dude. So my musical tastes are all over the place. One of my favorite artists is an artist named Landon Tours. He actually is the front man for the band The Plot in You, which is also another very good band, and one of the last, I feel, remaining like metal bands from when I was a kid, and I'm 20 years older now. So anyway, he had a song on one of his solo albums saying, "I hope you have a shitty Christmas." And it feels like it plays into the same motif that this gentleman's talking about. Because here you can see that he's talking about how, like, there's these the calendars here. He's got to go do this thing. He's running over Christmas carols. These are more like the things that he wants to do, not the things that he's physically doing. Because, like, I don't know about you, but seeing around a bunch of fake joy everywhere drives people insane. And it's one of the worst parts about the holidays. Like, I love my family, but I have severe disagreements with my family. For those that don't know, I was adopted, okay? My biological mother had severe mental deficiencies. And from what I was told, she was sexually attacked by a caretaker, and I was conceived. And then when I was born, my adopted sister, okay, it's going to be confusing, was a drug addict, and she would take drugs around my biological mom, and they did a lot of heroin together and shit, okay? Crazy times. So I was born addicted to a buttload of fucked up drugs, and I also was thought to be mentally deficient. And as you watch these videos, you will come to understand that I am. But anyway, all that being said, the person that wanted to adopt me was the aunt of my biological mother, but she was too old, and she already had a daughter that was living with her that had severe mental deficiencies for herself. So most of my biological family all suffer some severe form of mental degradation, and they require caretakers. So my biological aunt's best friend from college, who is now my adopted mother, took me in because my mom had a daughter already, and she's in a new marriage, and they were in their 40s and 50s. And they adopted me while knowing that I was addicted to crazy drugs, and I was probably going to be, for a lack of better words, mentally retarded. Now, I was a crazy kid that got locked away into institutions for being crazy. I was on Ritalin from the age of 4. I was violent, I was destructive, and I went to an intensive treatment program in Southern California for violent kids. I was expelled from normal schooling for assaulting a teacher because he took my music. So I was a very, very bad boy, and most of the county kids I grew up with are either dead or in jail. I think there's 3 of us that are not, and 1 made it trans. One made it out. I hope. But anyway, all that to say, like, the want to do crazy things is there for a lot of people. And being like this dejected member of society and having to like interact with your family, where like my mom's mother, she would tell me all the time I was adopted. I didn't know I was until I was of the age of 16, by the way. I found out in a meeting about like with a new doctor about Ritalin. They're like, birth, adopted. I was like, what? But anyway, I had like really bad shitty family members, right? Like they would just treat me like shit all the time. Not my adopted family, but those on the outside. So for me, found family is way more important than bloodlines. But it's so hard to be around people that will pretend like they love you during the holidays, and they don't. And I know how, like, it's been 20 years since I've been to a family event with any of my family members, and no one calls. You know what I mean? No one calls. Not even the people that adopted me, my parents, who I love very much, but they have found a great amount of success in going to visit their grandchildren, but me, they don't even know what state I was in. I love them and they love me, but they made their choice.
Wreck a whole advent calendar. Brother on speakerphone, lurking at the Burgerville. Bathrobe, hammer toes, murdering the curb appeal. Would I be returning or forsaken with the craven and carnivorous vegetation that take them for a steakums? I don't know, I gotta think about it. Truthfully, I don't know which makes me a bigger coward. Either stomach or the hubris. Cash in his 2 cents, loose lips, locked up over a chew.
Dude, it's so crazy how I feel like some family members spend the whole year looking to talk shit when you finally do talk to them. Then again, it's been 20 years since I've been around any of my adopted family, so I have no idea. But when I was a kid, dude, I would just watch these interactions like, what the fuck? And it's so weird to see so many people that say they love one another, but all they ever do is look for a reason to tear each other down. And so many people will act like they've accomplished so much, and it's like, dog, why are you giving me life advice when you sell milk? And you're more miserable than I am. You hate your life. You hate your wife. You drink yourself to sleep. Why do you think you have any qualifications to tell me how to live my life? Like, if you were better than me in any way, then maybe I would I don't mean like just money. Like, if you were happier than me, maybe I would listen to you on how to be happy. You know what I mean? But the only thing you seem to succeed at is being fucking miserable. I don't want your advice on how to be like you if that's your only thing is to be miserable. Holy fuck.
Cash in his 2 cents, loose lips, locked up over a chewed Eucharist, or maybe reappropriate the energy. Hold up, passing a poultry to Hecate. Bullheaded burnout, fled his own pedigree, and never better. Never would have met your heaven anyway. Mary, go make soup out of bones. Just know when the room go cold, I'm a ghost.
He's got such a way to tell a story, dude. That's so wild. So apparently he was with his brother. His brother likes to talk shit. He's got loose lips. They came across a skinhead, and then they started talking about Mother Mary lighting a bong. Or Mother Mary is doing soup stuff, but instead of handing out soup to the homeless, they handing out weed? So are they drug dealers? What's happening? What's happening, man? This could go in so many directions. Okay, dude, he's almost got like a lo-fi vibe before lo-fi was like that big. Like, what the fuck? Why does this have like a lo-fi, like, I feel like it has like lo-fi textures, or it could be my headset. My headset is only $20, so I mean. I don't get it, dude. I try to put samples and shit like that in my music, and it always sounds forced and out of tune. This shit sounds good as fuck right here. Like, this is a story within itself. Does no one else see that in like their head, dude? I could picture like a silhouette of like an astronaut or an individual, or just like a silhouette of a person adrift through space, and like in front of them is like their entire life, and then behind them is where they are currently, and then to the right of them is like a string of thought drifting out like a flowing scarf, but into like the cosmos. Like I that's what I'm getting when I hear that fucking like this little fucking run of shit. That's
exorcism and deworming. Fitted for a curse and a crown of birds circling. Search party falling forward, unthwarted. Meet him at the crossroads, drawn and quartered. For a master of puppets outside of his cupboards. Non-dairy creamers, can a last supper. And I runneth over cup full of black tap water. It's a marvel of privacy over pack hunter. Raspberry jelly on his Jesus toast. To turn Heather Gray sweats and her Easter clothes. With no immediately measurable crime wave. Ice age, Christ's children still skin a cat sideways. I don't pick teams or administer bans. I'm in the creek with a pick and a pan and go forcibly ejected or a voluntary death scene. Tell them what the out of order blinking EMF mean. Ghost. Toast to turn Heather Gray sweats and her Easter clothes. With no immediately measurable crime wave. Ice age, Christ's children still skin a cat sideways. I don't pick teams or administer bans. I'm in the creek with a pick and a pan and go forcibly ejected or a voluntary death scene. Tell them what the out of order blinking EMF mean. Ghost.
God damn, bro. I'm gonna need like a fucking dick. I'm gonna do something different at the end of this video, by the way. Challenge accepted, my dude. Mute that. Let's do this. Summarize the video. Let's see what AI has to say, my dude. The video titled Supercell is a song by Aesop Rock from his 2016 album, The Impossible Kid. The lyrics are rich with vivid and often abstract imagery, exploring the themes of struggle, resilience, and observation of the world. The key lyrical themes and imagery include confronting adversity. The opening verses describes a white man wolf city and preparing for a supercell, suggesting an impending powerful force of challenge. Transformation and decay. Reference to unsustainable man Opa makeover and unraveling hint at changes both natural and unnatural and a sense of things falling apart. Well, that could be like the decay of like the system that he's a part of. The internal conflict and observation. At 122 to 149, the lyrics touch on internal struggles like being a coward or dealing with hubris, while also observing the grim realities around such carnivorous vegetation. Seeking clarity and release. The latter part of the song mentions exorcism and deworming, and meeting the crossroads, suggesting a desire for purification. I don't think AI did a very good job. See, this is the problem with AI. Like, if you are very direct with what you ask AI, or you have like a very direct song, it could probably sparse out what you're going with. But our boy is so abstract, AI couldn't accurately break down with, because he speaks in metaphors. Let this be a lesson to everybody watching. If you want to be a storyteller and you want to tell unique, compelling stories like our boy Aesop Rock here, to do that, you should speak in metaphors. And if you're really intelligent, you can outsmart AI. Like, let me just give you an example, okay? This is a song that I made. We're not going to play it or nothing. I'm not here to promote it. But so anyway, I wrote this song, and the lyrics I thought were pretty good. All the lyrics are here. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, this is a really smart song. No one will get it. Bro, summarize this video. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to. Is a musical essay divided into 4 acts, exploring the nature of thought and desire. Inception, evolution, indulgence, and lingering presence of desire. Dude, it got me pegged word for word. It knows. That's like the whole song. The whole song is about how a thought is born, and then how a thought dies, and then how it becomes nothing but remaining desire. And then the thought corrupts itself, and that's it. I thought I was being like lyrically beautiful, poetic, deep, and like, no, the AI could sparse my shit like that. Going to Aesop, bro, a legendary writer, dude. I can't hold a candle to the king, and this is the proof right here. This is the fucking proof. More writers need to check this shit out. This is fucking wild. I respect my man. I have been humbled in so many ways in my life, but this one, this is a true humbling. Because here I was thinking, I'm a good writer at least. Nah, dog. AI knows my shit like that. I need to get better metaphors, dude. Anyway, man, what an awesome song. What an awesome jam. I like this guy, dude. You gotta be so abstract that AI can't decipher you. And that's what it's gonna mean to be human moving forward, my dude. We don't need to look to philosophers. We don't need to look to fucking influencers. We got Aesop Rock, dude. We're good. We're already there. Just be like the king. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day. Before I let you go, I downloaded DaVinci Resolve, and that's where I've been messing around most of this last 2 weeks on how to make better videos. I'm moving away from Sony Vegas 2016. Well, it's not even called Sony Vegas. It's Black Man. Anyway, I'm moving away from Vegas into a new video recording software with color grading options, better masking options, and better stuff. So soon the videos aren't just going to be this. I'm going to, like, you know, cut things out and edit, and I'm learning some shit. I'm trying to up my game here on this channel, because if you're going to watch my content, I should put more effort into it on your guys' behalf. Anyway, man, thank you guys so much. Thank you for what little time you guys do have to give and that you do provide to me. Remember, if you ever want to make a request to the channel, you can always go to buymeacoffee.com/losttogod. Or you can just put it in the comments below, and if I have the time or I'm caught up, I will get to it eventually, all right? That's my goal. My goal is to be here and put out the content that everyone enjoys to do, because every once in a while when I release a song, you guys might stop by and listen to it. I got you, man. I love you. Be safe. Party the fuck hard. And we got some more videos coming. Oh, that shows that I liked my own video. How cringe is that? Ah, I shouldn't have shown that. Like, small channels gotta do what they gotta do, dog.
Future uncertain, wide as the sea. I see a chance to be freed from apathy. You might